All right, what's up, you guys? This is Chill with Bill. We are back once again with the ill behavior. I had to do it. I had to do it. Auntie Jenny, King Rich, and T, go at it. Oh man, this is gonna be great here. Hold on, let's make this
Me
work.
not to say it and cool. I will never say it to you ever again. Simple,
Simple.
simple,
You
innit?
don't get this.
Like,
You don't get this.
I didn't realize. Like, listen. I didn't realize it was so serious to you.
It is.
Well,
I told you before. I told you the day before. I told
Okay. So right away, the energy is way up here. So this is hilarious that they're even doing this. Okay, so Auntie Jenny, King Rich, and T in the bottom corner, right? Um, this is what I'm saying about the bro thing, and what I said before. Like King Rich and the way that he speaks, where he comes from, the his street life, you know what I mean, whatever. He ends his sentences when he's speaking to a person with the word bro. Okay, that's just what he does. And it's like somebody saying, you understand what I'm saying? Man, yeah, dude, yeah. Like that's just how some guys speak, especially guys who have slang language, okay? Auntie Jenny, she got super offended by it because she doesn't like to be called bro, which I understand as a woman, especially an older woman, an elder, whatever you want to call her. Like she don't want to be called bro. I get it. I don't know why she feels it's okay to bring this amount of energy. She has done this a lot on the Just Pearly Things podcast, right? She's very, very aggressive sometimes when she tries to make her point. She gets loud. She be yelling at people, and her excuse will be, "Well, I'm trying to combat their argument or yelling or whatever." It's like, yo, two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I mean? Especially when you're in a podcast. And we just gonna see the amount of capping going on here. Let's see.
you in the morning. I told you this before the show.
All right, cool.
It's insulting. If you don't get it, if it wasn't insulting, you would be calling your mother that.
I understand what she's saying. It depends on how it's used and who it's coming from, that kind of thing. I don't like to be called bro, especially by women. If you're a woman and you call me bro at the end of a sentence, like 99% of the time you're saying that to be demeaning, right? Like women don't say bro unless they're trying to make a point, right? So I don't like that. If King Rich was to call me bro every 30 seconds while we're having a conversation, I'm not going to take offense to that. It's in his vernacular. It's just it's the way he's used to talking. Now, should he be saying that to women? Probably not. I don't call women bro. I mean, I don't call most of my homies bro, but regardless, when I speak to women, when I speak to older women, elders, my mother, aunties or whatever, like I'm not saying bro or any other male or masculine terminology to address them, right? I also wasn't raised in the streets, but I don't think that's an excuse though. But whatever. Let's see.
Why would I call my mum bro? Why would I call my mum
Exactly.
anything apart from mum? That is ridiculous.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, it's kind of a moot point.
Now, let me ask the other lady on the line. Calling
call
your
auntie-
mum
you call
anything
your
other
aunties
than
bro?
mum would calling your mother anything other than mum, wouldn't that be like weird?
Yeah, you should call
Thank
address
you.
your mum with respect.
Would you call your auntie bro?
You're not my auntie though.
Right. Yeah, Auntie Jenny, that's your moniker. As far as I know, you're nobody's auntie on the podcast, right? Just because Pearl thinks of you that way, it doesn't mean that people are going to refer to you that way automatically.
Oh my gosh.
You're not though. But you're
That
not.
is a problem. That is a problem. That is a problem with you
Okay,
young
but
people.
Michael, can
You
I
don't
say
know the
something? Is
levels
that
of
your name?
respect.
Your
You're
name
not
Michael?
no, listen. Let me.
Yeah, he should just say Jenny, right? Like Jenny, you don't understand Jenny. I mean, like that would be the way. He doesn't owe you anything just because you're old. And when you're barking at him like any other person, you're just going to shut him down, and his walls are going to go up, and he's going to give two shits about what you're saying.
Let me just say this thing. I understand the respect level for elders. I understand that. And as I said already, I take it on board. I take accountability. You said not to call you bro because it's a respect thing. Okay, I take that on board. I take that L. Yeah, but you're not my auntie, bruv. So at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want.
You know
Bro,
what?
like,
Hear what you're
at the end of
saying.
the day,
Hear what
yeah?
you're saying.
You could say whatever you want, bro. Like he doesn't mean to do it, right? Like it's not like he's saying it specifically to piss Auntie Jenny off. He doesn't even know he's saying it half the
At the
time.
end of
Hear
the
what
day,
you just
yeah?
said to me. Hear what you just said to me. You are not my auntie, bruv. So that means that you can ask anybody on the chat about elders and aunties, especially as an African.
Yeah, you have to
Okay,
respect your. You
okay,
have to
okay.
respect
And listen, I
your
already
You
took.
elders.
just
Yeah,
call
but
me
this is the
bruv.
thing. At this point, yeah, I've taken.
Yeah. Again, you're beating him up. Here's your argument right now. It's kind of the same thing when people get really upset about you not using their preferred pronouns, right? Like if a somebody who is visually looks like a man and he requests that he be referred to as she, her, and you're a man and you're speaking to this person and you don't say she, her, because you see what you see is in your mind a man, right? If that person gets mad at you because you keep doing it over and over and over again, yo, that's on you. That's your emotions. That's your feelings. You're upset that somebody's not choosing to do something that you want them to do. You can choose to walk away. You don't have to conversate with that person. Auntie Jenny's bringing all kinds of smoke on this bro thing. And she can say, you know what? I don't appreciate being called bro. I don't want to be on podcast with you no more. If you can't stop saying that to me, I understand it's your issue. I don't want to be referred to as that. And so I don't want to be on the podcast with you no more. She could do that simply, but instead she's trying to force it down his throat that he has to change the way that he speaks, which again, in my head, this is subconscious. It's not like he means to call her anything. He ends his sentences with bruh. It doesn't matter if he's talking to a man, a woman, probably a dog. You know what I mean? If he's making a statement, he's going to end his statement with bruh, whatever, like that, because that's what he's used to doing.
Accountability, and I told you, like, yes, the word bro will come out of my mouth sometimes, and it's by accident because that's just a common way I speak.
Boom. He just apologized and he just said it. It might come out of my mouth by accident. By accident, because it's just the way I speak. And you can't sit there and continue to force him. All you can do is say, okay, I appreciate it. You said it might come on accident. You apologized or whatever. You're taking it on the chin. And now it's up to you, Auntie Jenny, to decide whether or not you are okay with that going forward, knowing he might call you bro on accident. He doesn't mean anything offensive by it, or whether to bounce. Like, you don't get to keep shoving this down his throat.
It's not an insult. I'm expressing to you, and I'm telling you face to face. That's why I came on here. I'm not scared, bro.
I'm not scared, bro. He's not calling you bro because he doesn't care about your feelings. He said, I'm not scared, bro, because that's the way he talks. That's his vernacular.
And let me not be scared. Let me explain something to you, right? Anytime you meet an older woman,
Listen, can I say something? 1 second. Listen, look.
anytime you meet an older woman,
look, let's not do this. Let's not go.
Yeah, and Auntie Jenny, she has Auntie Jenny, you got a lot of masculine energy, woman. You come on Pearl's podcast all the time talking about what men don't want and what men do want. But the moment you're put in a position to show what what you're to back up what you're saying, all that goes out the window, and there's tons of masculine energy coming out your face.
no, treat her like you would treat auntie. That's the African way.
That's the African way. Like, no, it's not about what's African or wherever you're from. Like, you have to have respect for your elders. Absolutely. But your elders also have to understand that you are from a different generation. Okay. Back in the 60s, back in the 70s, the 80s, whatever, we are changing at a rapid rate. Man, I'm hearing all kinds of terminology that I didn't hear growing up. Kids saying all these things to each other, calling each other. Yo, like, you can't take your old school ways and force them on somebody who was brought up in a completely different environment than what you came from. You have to understand that.
1 second, Auntie, please. 1 second.
Why do you keep it? Yeah, it's not just
1
African
second.
people that do
Listen,
that.
please. I can't listen. I can't do
But
this.
then you should know.
I can't listen, please. Bro, I need to say.
Bro, T, like your cap. I almost don't even want to hear what's coming out of your mouth because I know you're about to lie. I know it for a fact. I watched the whole thing go down. I know what happened. And I know that you're no different than Rich. Like the way that you talk is no different than Rich. You're hella masculine. Okay. You don't present any femininity at all. There's hella, that's aggression, right? And like, honestly, you got triggered and then you wanted all the smoke and you made all kinds of accusations. You threatened him. You were basically like, meet me outside. I want the smoke. What did you say? I'll finish you or I'll body you, something. I can't remember, but you basically said you was going to murk him. Like that's a threat. In the US, that's a threat. I don't know how it goes down in the UK where y'all at, where y'all could just talk smack or whatever. But man, if you was here, bruh.
Something to you firstly, okay? I know I know she's not your mum, and I know she's not your aunt. Okay, we know that. However, she is your elder. So you should respect her. Even us, in our culture, we have our parents who have their friends. They're not our auntie.
He hasn't disrespected her. He didn't tell her to go F herself. He didn't say, I'm not listening to you. He didn't say, I don't care what your feelings or how you think that. He's on this thing. He apologized and he said, look, it is entirely possible that accidentally this is going to happen, and he's giving Auntie Jenny all the information and he's allowing her to make a decision. And the decision she's choosing to make is to continue to beat him upside the head with this F what you say, listen to what I say, my way is the way or it's the highway. That's not how this goes. You get two choices. You can either say, okay, I accept your apology, and if it happens again, I'm going to understand that you're not meaning it disrespectfully, or you can bounce. Like that's it. That's it. And I hate it when people try to bring a third option into this, which is I'm going to just beat it into you until you submit. Like, no, he's not going to submit. He can't change his vernacular. I don't know how old he is, but it's very difficult for you to change the way you talk, especially when you're still in that environment. When he goes home, everybody says bro, probably everybody, his homies, his the females that he hangs out with or whatever. You know what I mean? Bruh. Like everybody says it probably. How is he gonna change from that?
But we call them auntie out of respect.
I understand, yeah.
Uncle out of respect. So we must.
That's where you come from. You call somebody auntie or uncle out of respect. I don't call nobody uncle or auntie who ain't my uncle or who ain't my auntie. I don't have any uncles or aunties who ain't my blood or my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't just call random people that. That is a title that I give to people that is a title, not even that I give to people. That is a title that people in my family, in my group who are my aunties and uncles receive. That's like, so my grandmother, she probably Auntie Jenny's age. I'm not exactly sure how old she is, but I was prior Navy, spent 8 years. Honorable discharge, hoorah, that whole bit. And one of the things that was beat into my chest from being brought up by my mother and the military is politeness. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's what I say. It's what I say when I speak to anybody who's older than me. It doesn't matter if you're a year older or 10 years older. Especially in professional settings and in courteous settings. Like I just, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. It's just the way that I was brought up. It's the way that my kid's going to be brought up. Right. But there was one time I remember, it wasn't that long ago, maybe 6 months, maybe a year. I'm not exactly sure. I was around my grandmother, and my grandmother, she was doing something or said something. And I said, yes, ma'am. And she said, not yes, ma'am. Yes, Graham. And I thought I had to take a second, and I was like, she has more than earned that title. Of course it's yes, Graham. And I had to think about that. And now it's yes, Graham. Now that's me kind of changing up my vernacular, but it's not like I say ma'am to her every single day. Like, no, it isn't. So that is easier to do than to change up the way you end your sentences when you speak. You know what I mean? Like, so, and I understand. So that's a title that she has earned. She is my grandmother, right? She's not a ma'am. She's grand, right?
Must have respect for our elders, and there's no ifs or buts about it. Okay. The second thing I
That's
want to say
it.
to you, because you lot keep making it out like I'm triggered about the word bro. No,
You were hella triggered about the word bro. Hella triggered. Go back and watch the episode. Right now, the cap is real with this one. All this other stuff that she's about to say, because I'm sure she's about to make it about something. She's going to try to flip the script because she blew up on the internet. She's gone viral for having super masculine energy, getting out of pocket, and being triggered over the word bro. Okay, being called bro, which I'm not saying she's right or wrong. You have every right to be upset. But like I said in the last reaction video about this thing, the only option she had is to either say, hey, man, I don't appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like, is there any way you could do it? And allow him to apologize and try to adjust the way that he speaks to her, or get up, put on your jacket and bounce. But instead, you had a 12-minute long session or whatever it was of yelling and screaming and cursing. You called him names. It got to the point where you were calling Pearl the B word, like you were blowing up everybody on the podcast. If I was Pearl, you would never be on. You would never be on the podcast ever again. Nobody's ever giving you clout, okay? Because you lost your cool. You went ham and you put yourself in a man's position. And honestly, King Rich, man, shout out to you, brother, for keeping your head cool, bro. Because you just sat there in that chair, laughed, and you didn't let it escalate. Your stress level didn't go up. You know what I mean? Because she was acting like a child, super out of pocket.
no, I'm not. I'm from the hood. I was raised in a
You ain't from the hood. I'm not sure what the hood look like in UK, man. Maybe y'all got lots of stabbings out there. I know it can get a little raw, but you know, come around my way, and we'll see what you got.
We speak to each other like that every single day. Bro, bruv. When I was talking to you, I was saying, bro, bruv.
We know you were saying, bro. We saw you do it on a regular, over and over and over again.
Talk the same way, okay? So I don't have a problem with the word bro or bruv. Let's just be clear on that. I'm going to tell you where I had the problem with you,
We don't care.
okay? Where I had the problem
Are you wearing a Papa Murphy's whole outfit? What is that? Is that UK stuff? Oh.
with you is when I was sitting down, I was watching you addressing the other females that were sitting down. And the way you was addressing them was in a very rude and disrespectful.
And this is Cap. Go back and watch the entire show, because before all this happened, King Rich show, he didn't even get to speak. He was like chilling. He didn't really put in his 2 cents. And then when he started and tried to, start getting cut off a bunch. And the other girl that got booted, right? I don't remember her name, man, but she's so loud and crass, and like you can't sit there and say that he was talking to everybody rude. Auntie Jenny is yelling and screaming at the other girl. She's yelling and screaming and this and that. And he's just sitting there like, what do you mean he was speaking disrespectful and rude? He talks to these women every single day.
Respectful way. Now, it might not be rude
If they felt disrespected, they wouldn't come on this podcast anymore.
and disrespectful to you, yeah? And it might be rude and not be rude and disrespectful to them, because everyone has their own levels of what they think, what they were.
So why are you even opening your mouth? If it's not rude and disrespectful to him, and it's not rude and disrespectful to her, you're a third party who ain't got nothing to do with what is happening right then and there. And all your energy and all your smoke you're trying to say came from that. Cap, yo. This is damage control. You're full of it.
Tolerating what they won't and what they think is disrespectful and what they don't. But when it comes to me, my levels are up there.
Stop it. Stop it. Nothing about you is up there. Okay? Your levels are down here. You're a degenerate. The way you behaved on the podcast was ridiculous. The way you talked to not only everybody on this screen, okay, but Pearl, the girl who owns, runs, and moderates the podcast, the one who invited you on, the one who's cutting checks for the rest of the people who are functioning and working on this thing, who was being extremely respectful to you, who gave you many opportunities to just pump your brakes and move on to the next topic. But no, you wanted smoke. You specifically went there.
Okay? That no one's going to disrespect me in any way, shape, or form. Never have, never will.
And what? You're just going to park like the Chihuahua you did? It's not like you're doing anything, okay? You're not putting hands on anybody. You're not flexing. You're not bodying nobody. You talk. You're a Chihuahua, okay? You need to stop acting like that. Somebody didn't raise you right.
My dad always taught me that. My dad always put that in me. And you see me for my respect, I would die for my respect.
And you're going to die off of respect. If that's how you behave, okay, if this is really what you think, because you don't have anything to back it up. You don't get to be loud, crass, rude, physical altercations or whatever. Like, you don't get to behave that way, all right, without the ability to hold your own. And I mean, just because the only reason why this stuff went down the way that it did and you're able to talk the way that you are is because you're a woman. And King Rich knows that if he did anything to you the way he would do to a man, that he would be the one, you know, out of pocket at that point.
And I mean that literally, I would die for my respect. Okay? Because
yeah, we know. Because you're going to act crazy thinking that you got disrespected and then something bad may happen. I don't wish anything bad on you. I'm telling you, this is not the way to go. Your behavior is very likely to end you in a bad situation, acting like that. Again, men shouldn't act like that. Like the way that you were behaving on the podcast, a grown man, if he were to act like that, people would call him a child. What makes you any different?
I've always been like that and I'll always be like that. And alhamdulillah, I am like that. I wouldn't like to be any other way. Okay. Now, when I saw you
Is she Muslim?
speaking to those two girls, I sat there and I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should get up and leave now because.
Yeah, you should have. That's exactly what you should have done. Your first inclination, if this is real, that's what you should have done, is gotten up and leave if you felt so triggered.
If he speaks to me like that, it's going to go peak. Yeah, because no one's going to talk to me like that. Speaking to you, and then you start, you know, when you're speaking to her, the way you were speaking to her, I was like, wow, like she's an older woman that could be like my aunt or my mum. And
why weren't you concerned about the way that she was speaking to anybody else? Why I mean, why is it? Is it because he's a man, right? It's okay that Auntie Jenny can yell and scream at somebody else, right? I mean, yell and scream at her. That's what she was doing. And you ain't got no words about that. But the minute Rich has something to say, now you got an issue, right?
And the way you're talking to her is bang out of order, and you shouldn't really speak to her like that. That started.
And it's not your responsibility to determine how anybody should speak with anybody. If Auntie Jenny had an issue with the way King Rich was talking to her, it's on her to say something, okay? What she did, she said she didn't, you know, want him calling her bro, but she didn't say nothing else about the way he was talking to her. So this is you and your feelings trying to play referee on something that honestly ain't your business.
Then so first I saw you speaking to the two girls, then I saw you speaking to her, and then I thought, okay, he best not speak to me like that.
Or what? That's what I'm saying. Like, these are false, like these are empty threats that you're making. You are nobody. Look, there is not even an @ sign for your name. You don't, like, you're nobody in this space. You're a nobody. And unfortunately for you, like in this case, you're a woman trying to fight a man verbally, but you were the one escalating it, not him. He didn't get up out of the chair. He's not pointing. He's not screaming and yelling. There are not clips all over the internet with him looking as ugly as you did.
I thought maybe because you know the other two girls and maybe you might know her, that maybe you can speak like that. But me, you don't know me. So I was thinking probably he won't speak to me like that. Anyway, I was waiting patiently, okay? And everything you were saying, Michael, I was agreeing with a lot of stuff that you were saying. Me and you, we was on a kind of the same, and so was me and
I understand you biting that tongue, boy. Bite that tongue, boy. You're doing a good job, King.
Auntie, okay? I was on you lot's flex, right? Then what happened was I was supposed to talk. They never let me talk. They shut me down.
Yeah. So I agree. She did say, say, hey, I'd like to say something. And I believe Pearl did say, okay, you can go next kind of thing. But regardless, like, you disrespected Pearl. I hope she never has you on that podcast again. I would never have you on that podcast again. Not just because of your behavior, but because regardless of what you think, Pearl's in control. If she chooses to move on, if she says stop, if she picks another person to talk, like, that's her job. Your job is to sit there until it's your turn to go. So no, it wasn't supposed to be your turn. Not unless Pearl designates your turn.
Down. Then I let one person go in front of me, two people
You didn't let anything. You're not in charge. It's not your podcast.
go in front of me, three people go in front of me. And then I said, when that person finishes, please, may I add on what I wanted to add on from before?
That's not what you said. That's not even how you said it. Go back and listen to it.
Okay. Then what you did, you jumped in next. And I'm like, so I was like, nah, like, you know what? I was supposed to, and then you.
No, you weren't supposed to do anything. Okay. What you're supposed to do is sit there and chill and wait. You could have kept your mouth shut. King Rich could have came in, said his piece, because everybody know he liked to talk. That's fine. Okay. And then Pearl would have been like, okay, yeah, go ahead. What you got to say? You could have sat there polite. You didn't have to. None of that had to happen. Okay. And again, the only reason why you went ham is for the bro thing. You're capping about all this other stuff right now.
You started going, what? Nah, bro, you talking too much.
Like what? You're like what? Again, if you felt some kind of way, you know what? I'm cool. Let me get up and leave. That's your option. Leave.
You've never met me. You don't know nothing about me.
So if he can say that he's never met you and he don't know nothing about you, how can't he say the opposite? You don't know him. You don't know nothing about him. So to sit there and with this bro and this and that, like, don't call me bro, don't call me bro. You're acting like it was disrespectful. You don't know him. You don't know nothing about him. You don't know the way he talks. Okay? Stop it.
And you're talking to me like that. I'm older than you.
So what? So what? What does that have to do with anything?
Did not disrespect you, and it was my turn.
You was plenty disrespectful on the podcast.
And you made it out like I cut you off.
Again, I mean, King Rich sitting on the podcast, I could be wrong, but my understanding is he's a co-host. Like, it's part of his job to guide topics. Like, what is
In fact, you went in front of me. That's what I didn't like. That's his job.
That's his job.
And then when you spoke to me like that, that's when I felt the fire in my chest come up.
When he said, bro, you mean? When he said, bro, chill out, that's when the fire? Silly. This is cap.
And I thought, you know what? That it's I'm starting to get heated, and I know.
Then get up and leave.
Know me, I don't want to go from 0 to 1,000, because when I get like that, I just see red.
When you get like that, then you see red. You are emotional. You can't control yourself. Okay. You exploded on a podcast. You went viral for looking stupid, and now you're doing damage control because of your behavior, not because of his. Right. That's just the way it is. And nobody knows you. Like you don't know him. He don't know you. Nobody knows you. Now everybody knows you're a clown.
There's no stopping me. I don't see nothing. If the police can be standing there and I won't see them. I don't want to get like that.
Guys, don't behave like this. Don't act like this person. The police can be standing there and I don't see nothing. Don't act like this person.
Okay? That's what happened. And then after that, Pearl was like, no, whatever. She let you speak. She gave you that 30 seconds. Instead of giving it to me, she gave it to you.
Which is her job. Okay? Stop it. She can do whatever she wants. She can tell you, you know what? I don't want you to talk for the rest of the conversation. And you can either sit there or you can get up and go. But it's her podcast. It's her podcast. If she wants Santa Claus to come in and cut in, she can. And you need to sit there or bounce if you ain't feeling it.
And then you was like, oh, do you know what? I forgot what I was even going to say.
Because you kept interrupting him. It was with the BS. And I thought you were triggered. And then you jumped in there like a cat that's been stepped on. And he lost his train of thought. So, yeah, he couldn't continue on.
And then I was like, cool, okay, then can I now say my part?
You were not like, okay, cool. Well, then can I say my... No. Watch the podcast. That is not what happened.
She was like, no. Cut me off in a very, very rude way.
Oh, so now she's rude because she's telling you to stop. Look, it's her job. And you obviously don't have any respect for authority. It's her job. You just said you don't have respect for authority. You go red. You don't even see the police, right? Like, please, people, do not behave like this woman.
Yeah. And then she was like, next question.
Yeah, because she's trying to move the topic along. You guys are on some BS. You're yelling and fighting. Aggression is coming up. The masculine energy is coming out from Auntie Jenny, the other girl, from you. Honestly, from everybody but Rich, man. Like he didn't really even go ham on you. I've seen him go ham. I watch his show. I've seen him go ham. You didn't get no ham. You got cheese, baby. Cheese.
So basically, you're trying to make me feel like I'm insignificant. What I've got to say doesn't matter.
He's not trying. Again, this is your interpretation and you and your feelings. That's what this says.
And you're just disrespectful. You're like, and you don't do things like that. So
Don't tell a man what to do. I'm just saying. Don't tell a man what to do. You're not a man. You don't know. You don't live his life. You're not part of the podcast. You don't know what goes down. You don't know how they operate. You don't know who's in charge. You don't know any of that. So stop it.
So that's where I had a problem with you. And then you're talking like I'm already getting rolled up, and then you're talking, saying whatever you're saying, yeah, and then I'm getting even more rolled up because you're laughing when somebody's switching, yeah.
Because it's funny. Because you got triggered in your feelings, and all he can do is laugh. Was he supposed to respond while you're cursing and yelling and doing all this stuff? No, of course he's gonna laugh. It's funny. You went viral, for Christ's sake.
The worst thing you can do is laugh, because
I agree. I mean, if you're trying to instigate something, you laugh at them. And that's what he was doing. He thought that you were funny. He thought that it was BS, okay? And he saw how triggered you were. And to be honest, all my homeboys do that. All my homeboys. Like from when I was a kid all the way till now. You get into an argument or whatever with somebody who you beefing with, right? And you see it triggered, right? You laugh. Why? Because that's like the worst thing that you can do. It makes it go up to here. So I'm not gonna, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not saying what he did was right, but that's what happens when you get triggered. You're supposed to control your emotions on a podcast with people you don't know in front of 1.2 million subscribers.
Because when you're laughing, it's like you're trying to make me like I'm a clown.
You were acting like a clown.
And trust me, my bro, I am not a clown.
Nobody else knows that because your behavior, it reflects something completely different than your words do right now. Okay. You acted like a clown. I don't even have, like, I just started my YouTube channel and I felt the need to react on your clown world behavior. I'm just saying.
I'll tell you that now. I'm far from it. So all I ask of you is when you talk to me, if you talk to other people and they accept it, fair on them. But when you're speaking to me, speak to me with respect. You can call me bro if you want. If me and you are on a cool level, we can call it bro, cuz, whatever. It's cool. But just talk to me with respect.
It's not up to him to figure out what you deem to be respectful. He don't know you, and he don't give a damn about what you think. Okay? Just because you're yapping, he doesn't care. I don't even know why you're on this thing. Like, he's got history with Auntie Jenny. It should have just been him and Auntie Jenny having this. Like, you're a nobody to him. He doesn't look at him. He's like looking at his phone right now.
That's all I'm asking. I'm not these other girls. Do you understand?
You're right. You're way more masculine.
And the thing is, people are like, oh, she's so ghetto. Oh, she's so... Look, at the end of the day, I was born in the ghetto. I never chose to be born in the ghetto. I was raised with savages. I never chose to be raised with savages. Okay, but at least I changed my life.
Just because you put on a skirt don't mean you ain't still ghetto and ratchet as hell.
I went to college. I went to university. I got my degree. I'm doing my music. I got married.
Can I please say so?
You got married and you got divorced. Let's be clear, right? Married, divorced, and now you're engaged again. 40 years old. Just saying.
You've gone on for a long time. Can I?
Yeah, you have, and nobody wants to hear this anymore. Thank you, Rich. Thank you.
Say something, please.
Go on.
Respectfully.
Go on.
Like, all right, I hear everything you're saying, yeah? I can only control what I do, all right?
Exactly.
And in everything you said, you know what? Looking back, because I've watched that video about 5 times today, yeah? And yes, you did wait for your turn. This is all I'm going to talk about, what happened between me and you. I'm not going to talk about what happened with Pearl. I'm going to talk about me and you, right? Mm-hmm. So, was it you waited for your turn, I said something, then the woman said something, and then you wanted to say something after. I just wanted to rebuttal what that woman said because there was a key point I was going to make. Yeah? And up to that point, we have to be honest, I hadn't spoke that much.
He hadn't. And that's what I said. He was sitting over there quiet and meek, wasn't really getting into it. You know what I mean? He was allowing all the girls. And again, Auntie Jenny and the other girl just going back and forth, just beating on each other. Like he was, if you again, you don't know Rich, right? Like we watch him, so we know he was chill, bro. He was chill.
If you watch the video back, and if you watch anybody's reaction videos, because quite a few people have done reaction videos to that. If you look at it objectively without bias, you will see King Riches hardly spoke up to that point. Right?
Exactly. And who this person right here on the screen, you threatened King Riches multiple times. Multiple times you threatened him. You should have bounced a long time ago. You kept coming back. You kept coming back. You were triggered. You were in your masculine energy. You were trying to start beef, yo. Like everything you just said was cap.
Right. And also, I am somebody that does shows in that place. I'm not just a random guest.
Exactly. And this is what I was trying to say. He's basically a co-host. You need to respect him as much as you need to respect Pearl, and you don't respect neither one of them. You show disrespect to the owner of the apartment podcast show producer. Like, called her a B, yo. I'm not going to say the word. Like, nothing you have to say right now. It's all damage control because, again, you went viral for being a clown.
Bro. Like, I apologize. I shouldn't have called you bro. See, it just comes out.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine now. It's fine now, right? It's fine now. No, it wasn't fine then. It shouldn't be fine now. He don't know you now. He don't know you any more now than he knew you the day before yesterday, right? And you were tripping over that, bro. You weren't tripping about this other stuff. You just saw the reaction videos, and now you've had some time to think about it, and you're like, okay, I can't really be tripping on this bro thing. I got to come up with something else that makes more sense, right? Yeah, whatever.
You can call me bro. It's not a problem.
All right, cool. So basically, like, I'm not a random guest. I'm a part of what is going on there. So this is the reason why Pearl will feel like, yeah, if King Riches has something to say, then it's more than likely going to be something that should be said.
Look at her face. Look at her face right now. I just want to point this out, right? Because I've seen this face a few times, right? This is the face of somebody. You're a clown, Siddiqui. This is the face of somebody who is not listening right now. She's just waiting for you to finish, right? So she can just continue with her rants. She's not taking any of this in. She don't care what you have to say. Like, it's trash.
Do you get what I'm saying? It wasn't it's not necessarily a disrespect to you or we're trying to be horrible to you or something like that. It wasn't like that. I was literally going to make one point to rebuttal her, and yes, you was going to have your say. Do you get what I'm saying? And up to that point, you had spoke more than me. And up to that point, Auntie has spoke a lot. And you can ask anybody that watched that video.
Auntie yelled a lot.
Anyone that's done reaction videos on that video last night, Auntie spoke the most up to that point. Yeah, and I spoke the least.
Okay.
To the point where people in the chat were saying, oh, King Riches is just waiting to say something.
T, sit there and squeeze your lips together like he just did and shut up. Don't say anything. He just sat there for the longest and let you speak. Give him the same respect. Otherwise, this is pointless.
Yeah. And then, okay, boom. That is that point. Yeah. Then the second point is when you was trying to interject because you had waited your turn, and I understand that. Yeah. I said, hold on, bro. That's all I said.
No, but listen. Listen.
Nope. Let him finish.
No, don't try to listen.
I didn't interrupt
Michael,
you.
don't try to play it down.
You're cutting him off. No, and that's exactly what happened. He's not playing it down. He's telling you what happened. Watch it. You'll see.
Don't try to play it down. It's the
I
way.
said, hold on, bro.
It's the way, exactly. And that's what it is. It's not about what he said, right? You were in your feelings. You were triggered. Okay. You don't like to be called bro by somebody you don't know. That's what happened. Don't sit there and say it's the way you said it. Like who are you? You're a psychologist, right? Are you able to dissect what somebody means by the way that they said something on a podcast in a half a second verb?
Said it.
Bro, we can play it. I've got it right here. We can play it. We don't have to guess. Bro.
Yeah, play it. I've played it to bare people, and they've all said to me, "You was rude." Every single one
but
of them.
Obviously, they're gonna say that because that's your friends.
No,
Of
my
course they're
friends
gonna
are
say
real.
that.
No. Listen, my friends are real, bro. They won't lie.
So
They'll tell me I'm in the wrong.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Fair. Yeah.
We don't need to listen to your friends. Go on the internet and watch every reaction video to this shit. You went viral. Not because you were in the right.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. But what I said to you was, hold on, bro. You talked a lot. That's the exact words I said.
But I
and
never even
can play
talked a
it.
lot though. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, but that's all I said to you.
You talking a lot now. Why can't you just let him speak? He sat again, lips shut. Like that's what he did for you. Why can't he receive that same energy?
And then that's when you started getting hyped. Now,
Okay,
at the end of the day,
Stop talking.
from my point of view,
Yeah.
from where I come from, me, someone saying hold on to you, you talked a lot, is not some mad disrespect. We're on a podcast. A podcast is going to get lively. People are going to talk loud. People are going to talk over each other. That's what happens. It's not something that the next thing, because someone talked over you or something like that, now it's threats of violence.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, you threatened violence on him multiple times. Like, what you're not just talking like, oh, you felt disrespected and you were upset and you needed to prove a point. No, you threatened to cause physical harm to him outside. Remember that? Rebound, right? Smoke. Or what did you say? I'll cap you or something. Like you said something like that, yo. In my head, where I'm from in the US, I can't remember the exact sentence, but if you go back and say, there is a sentence you said that by my interpretation means that you plan on shooting this man in the street. Now, I know y'all don't have guns or whatever out there, but I'm just saying, like here, that's what that means. That's what that means is I'm going to see you in the street and I'm going to smoke you, bro. That's what it is. I'm going to smoke you, bro. What do you think that means? I'm going to smoke you, bro. That's what you said. I think
I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. And I come from South.
I'm gonna let you finish,
Like,
how are you gonna sit there and cut him off by saying I'm gonna let you finish? Shut your mouth. Do what he did.
Listen. I'm not no nerdy. I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't know what you're into or who you're with. Like, cool. That's your thing, innit? Yeah. But where I come from, like, that is not a big thing. Do you get what I'm saying? We talk lively. I'm a host. I have my own podcast, successful podcast, and it's rising. Yeah. And I moderate this kind of stuff all the time. That's gonna happen. It doesn't warrant threats of violence. And I just felt that was ridiculous. Like at the end of the day, I didn't call you names. I didn't threaten you. I didn't even stand up. Like the way you acted was like, it was, bruh. Like at the end of the day, I'm not even gonna say nothing. You just have to look at it back yourself. So for anyone to say that, oh yeah, King Richards was rude enough to warrant that, bro, like that's weird. Because I didn't even get up out of my seat and I didn't call you any names at all. I said, bro, and I said, you've talked a lot. That's all I said. And now all I'm hearing is you use disrespectful. Is that really disrespect on a podcast?
That he is a co-host on. Remember this, right? Like he is a co-host. Maybe, I don't know if it's, if they specifically have, finalized that terminology for him, but he's on it so often and he leads in the conversation so often. I consider him to be a co-host on the Just Pearly Things podcast, right? Maybe others do, maybe others don't. I don't know, but that's who he is.
All right, cool. Are you finished now?
Cool. Are you finished now? This is a woman who just didn't bother listening to anything that he said. She just waited for him to get done talking so she can continue making her point. And that's why all this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And he
Can I
knows
speak
it.
now, yeah?
Yep.
All right, cool. Everyone who's in here, yeah, who hasn't seen the video, please go back and watch the video and
We've all
watch the way
seen
he
the
spoke
video.
to me, okay?
We've all seen the
you're
video.
gonna see for yourself that he was very
Go watch every reaction video on YouTube right now. You went viral for being a clown.
rude, okay? Now, you
As a matter of fact, this is probably one of the most viral videos on the Just Pearly Thing podcast. Like this clip of you acting clown worldish, right? This is probably one of the most viral things to come out of the Just Pearly Things podcast, with the exception of her TikTok and what's it? Real Femme Sapien.
you may listen, see what you're doing right now is rude because I'm talking to you, you're not.
You did the exact same thing with the eye rollings, with the face, with the cutting him off, right? With the not paying attention. You didn't even respond to like what he was saying. Right now, you just want to continue to make your own point, right? This is not going anywhere.
Listening to me. When you
I am
spoke,
listening.
when you spoke to me, I looked at you and I listened to you.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. And I pointed this out. I pointed out how you obviously don't have a mirror. You don't know what you look like, right? The face that you make, right, is one of I'm checked out. We all know this.
So please don't disrespect me
You know
again.
what? You're right. You're right. I'll listen. I'll look and listen to you. Go on.
Right. So what I'm saying is, to you, that may not be disrespectful. Maybe you're used to speaking that way, yeah? Or maybe you guys are all right with that. Now, me, I'm a rapper.
You're not a rapper. Again, this is cap. Like, I don't know. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe in the UK you got 100 million followers. So I don't know. I've never heard of this person in my life. And when I'm looking at this YouTube thing, I don't see an @ sign. So you don't have a YouTube. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you're not a rapper, dude.
I've never done a podcast. That's my first podcast I've ever done.
So now you know how not to behave. You were out of pocket. You don't even have you can't even make like all of this is cap right here. You can't even comment on this because you don't know anything about podcast etiquette. Like you haven't got a clue. You were behaving like you were on the corner.
So I'm not used to that stuff. Yeah. And even though it's a podcast, it does not mean that anyone has the right to speak in a disrespectful way.
So it means that you have the right to threaten a man's life in the street. I'm just saying.
I don't care if it's a podcast. Okay. Now you're saying that you wasn't rude. I'm telling you that you was rude. You see?
And you're rude. So like it's in your feelings. He didn't get up and start pointing at you and threatening to beat your ass outside, right?
See me, I'm a good person. I've got
I don't know. I'm a good person. Are you really? I thought you were
a good
gay.
heart. I don't violate people. I don't start trouble. And for me to
I don't violate people. I don't start trouble.
feel the way I felt, you was rude. Now you might not want to think that I'm telling you, you was rude. I showed it to my brother. I showed it to my boy. I showed it to my cousin.
How about you show it to random strangers who don't have your back?
I showed it to my friends, and each and every single one of them said to me, my man was rude.
Again, go on the internet and look at the reactions of everybody who don't know you and don't know him and just saw this.
Yeah. Furthermore, they said to me, lucky that we never come and we wasn't sitting there.
Man, shut up. All of y'all making threats and acting like that's okay. Really? Really?
Okay.
This
So
is
I
the
know
thing.
for a
This is
fact.
the
You know what? You're lucky his boys weren't there when you threatened to murk him outside.
thing. This is the thing.
I know, no
That's
one
what
said you wanted to
unnecessary
let
to
me
say
speak,
that.
and then you
Exactly. It's completely unnecessary. You're not hard, yo. You're not. And like you said, I mean, like you're not doing anything.
speak, okay? Right? Let me speak, and then you can speak.
King Rich, man, don't worry about this clown.
Because if you had a sister and you were sitting with your sister and a man spoke to your sister in a disrespectful way,
His sister wouldn't behave like that. She would know podcast etiquette. She would understand her place in the pecking order.
you ain't gonna like that, okay? Anyway, you're saying you wasn't rude. I'm saying you was rude.
And the rest of the world is saying that you were rude and that you were out of pocket.
I didn't like the way you spoke to me. You disrespected me, so I responded. Yes, violence is no good. But the way you lot tried to make it out, it was like I said, I'm gonna murder you.
You did. You did. I'm going to smoke you, bro. Whoa. Whoa. Stop the cap. I smoke you, bro. On the rebound, bro, I'm going to smoke you. What does that mean? What does that mean? That's a threat for violence.
Yeah, when I said to you, I'll smoke you myself, I wasn't talking about murdering you.
I thought you was a rapper. I thought you was a rapper. How many rap lyrics end and I'm gonna smoke you and don't mean murder? I maybe you went to college. That's right. You went to college. You don't really understand the words that you're using. That's what it is. You using the actual definition, like you're gonna light him on fire and that's what you're gonna do. Yeah, smoke you on the street means murder. Period.
What, does people think I'm crazy? I'm gonna murder you
Yes, people think you're crazy because you act
in
crazy.
front of the body cameras in a podcast.
Yes, because you got triggered and your emotions let go and you said a bunch of stuff that was incriminating.
Listen, I've never killed someone in my life, and
Yeah, and again, this is damage control.
it's shut.
We know you haven't killed anybody in your life because you're a Chihuahua.
Allah never make me kill someone in my life. Yeah, that's not something I want to do. In Islam, if you save one life, it's like you save the whole of the mankind. You take one life, it's like you took the whole souls of mankind. So I'm not in it.
That may be true, but don't nobody listen to what she's got to say right now about this. She's not the one to be taking religious advice from.
So let me just make that clear. So when I said smoke you, I didn't mean shoot you or kill you. When I said bodies,
so look at you. When I said smoke you, I didn't mean shoot you or kill you. So what did you mean? When I said bodies, like smoke you body, like, yo, take some accountability for your words.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Pearl because she always likes to go around asking people, because people are trying to make me like I'm some
I know.
She's asking my man how many bodies he's got, how many bodies she dropped. Nah, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Now
you made it that deep.
Oh, look.
Okay, you guys. Well, that's pretty much the end of that. You know, if you got some comments on it, tell me what you think. I just don't understand. Like, this is that masculine energy, man. Like, this doesn't work out. You can't put this out in the world. You're not going to get any good benefits out of this. And you can't be using these words, right? You tell somebody you're going to smoke them outside, man, that's murder. I mean, that to me, that means you're going to murk them. Like, maybe you're using words you don't understand, because in the U.S., that's what it means. I'm going to smoke you. It don't mean nothing else. There's literally no other definition for the term, I'm going to smoke you. And you didn't give another one. You didn't even address what you actually meant. You said, when I said I'm going to smoke you, I didn't mean that I was going to murder you outside. So what did you mean? Keep it real, yo. Anyways, chill with Bill, y'all. I'm out. Peace.